Dan Campbell not included in Coach of the Year awards. Brian Dable, Sean McDermott, Doug Peterson, Kyle Shanahan, and Nick Sirianni are in there. I think Dan Campbell should be in this list, and I think he should replace Sean McDermott. I don't believe McDermott should be on this list. What say you? Where are you on this?
This is tough. This is a tough year. So what I would say to you first and foremost, Sean McDermott does not deserve to be on this list. I agree with you. For what that team has, for what that team has built, no pun intended. You know, many people picked this team to win the Super Bowl at the start of the season. Many people predicted Josh Allen to be MVP. So for what he did, he had a very iffy and spotty year all year long. So he doesn't deserve to be on there. But if you take him off, there's still 3 other people that can replace him. So that's why it's kind of hard doing a snub. You look at the list, everybody deserves to be on that list. You take Sean McDermott out, you can replace him with Dan Campbell, or you can replace him with a guy who let go of a guy who many thought people would be the end of the franchise. If this guy left, it would be a complete rebuild. And Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. Look at what they did. Oh, and by the way, they made the playoffs. They beat Dan Campbell. Pete Carroll's name isn't on this list. What he did with Geno Smith, what he did with that young team, those were all draft picks on both sides for the most part. Look at K9, hell of a draft pick by him. Or if you don't want to put Pete Carroll on that and you don't want to put Dan Campbell on there, what about a guy who last year almost faced his first under 500 season, but at the end got the most out of Kenny Pickett and somehow, some way almost made the playoffs and finished 9-8, and that's Mike Tomlin. Yet again, Mike Tomlin.
Another one.
He dodges having a losing record, gets that team to 9-8, and now you're looking at them to be a team on the horizon coming up next year with Kenny Pickett. So it's just a tough year. You want to see him in there, but it's a tough year because one of those guys made the playoffs. Another one of those guys didn't have an under 500 record. So it's tough. I think the guys that deserve to be on there are the guys on the list. I don't think you need to add a name because if you add one of these, you can argue you got to add the other 2.